Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, hey everyone, and welcome back to our third day. Sorry, actually, when my headphone was not working, so I couldn't realize that our live stream started already. Yep. So, anyways, welcome back to our third day for React.js essentials, and today we will be building our project, and with that, we are going to learn some more new concepts of Reactjs. Yeah. So, with the very first thing I should do, like, I should share my screen. Um, Okay, I need to share the screen one. Okay, I guess you can see my screen. If yes, do let me know. I'm just going to bring this thing here and this thing here. Okay, cool. Okay, so you can see my screen now. Uh, okay, audio is also working. So we will be building this game where you just need to guess a number and it can be a higher or lower number. It's going to give you something like this. So anytime you guess something wrong, this Togo is going to laugh at you. By the way, the lucky number is 7. Yeah. So I can enter the 7, and if you guess the correct answer, you are just going to get the Jethalal dancing in front of you. Cool. Yeah. So I guess we can start now. We will be continuing from where we left yesterday. So this is what we had yesterday. And so let me just start our project npm run dev. And now let me just give it a quick refresh. So this is what we built yesterday. Just a simple counter which can actually increase or decrease button. Your number. Today we will be building all that thing that. By the way, I already have created this whole thing. I'm just going to copy paste for the most of the time, just to save our precious time. We just have 1 hour or so to to do everything. Okay, cool. So before that, let us understand what we are trying to build. So we are building a game where we are going to have a lucky number. So the first thing is we need to generate some sort of lucky number. So this is going to be our step number 1. Cool. The second step is take the user input. So we have to take the user input, and depending on the user input, we will be doing some sort of magic. The third step is to check if the input is correct or not. And if the input is correct, in that case, we may show some hints. So guess a lower number. In the case of wrong guess, yeah. So a lower number or a high number. So this is what we will be doing. This is completely optional, and it's going to be an assignment at the end of the session. And the next step is to show or to change the style. So depending on the answer is wrong or correct, depending on that, we will be updating our UI. So update UI, no? Update UI on the base of the if the answer is wrong or correct, and then we can also implement some more things like restart the game, to quit the game, to something like this. These things. So, anyways, let us start with this. I guess let me just ask you people. Shall we start? Like, are you everybody's ready? If yes, do let me know. So we will be moving ahead with the project. Just waiting for your response, guys. Yeah, don't forget to mark your attendance also. So you can find the link in the description here. Just click here. I'm just going to remind you this the end of the session. I'm just doing it right now. If you want your certificates and all, you have to basically mark the attendance. Okay, cool. So the very first thing that we need here is state which is going to store the lucky number, right? So the first state that we will be creating is our lucky number state. So LUCKY, lucky number, and the second is the function. So this variable is going to have the value of 0. Yep. And anytime we want to update this number, we have to call this function with whatever value we want it to. So instead of having this here, we can actually create, we can actually give it a, what we say, initial value. So for now, we are just giving 0. But anyways, you can generate a number and you can put it here as well. But for now, I will be just keeping it as 0, right? So the initial value for our lucky number is 0. Now the next step that we have to do is to generate some sort of lucky number. So for that we can do few things. We can have a button that user can click, and anytime the user is going to click on that button, we will just generate some random number. Yeah, so it's going to be a start button. So in our UI, we can actually create a button here. So that button is going to be our start button. So I already have created this. So I'm just going to paste it here. So this is our start button here, right? With the class name of btn. So for now, we don't have any styling going on here. So this is our button, okay, a simple button. So instead of using this, we are just going to use our my button component, yeah, to create something again and again. So we will be actually doing what? We will be creating using our button instead of any pre-built button. So let me just use import our button directly. So my button, and here we just need to pass few of the props. The very first prop is text, right? So text is going to be start. But here I am going to add few more things. Okay, so let me just put this thing here and this thing here. So I do want to add few more things. The very first thing is I just want to update the styling of this button on the base of our UI design. So for that, I'm just going to copy the styling from this amp.js, amp.css. Okay, so this is the styling that we will be going with. So let me paste it here like this and save it. So this is the styling we are actually going with, right? Because it looks little better to have some same sort of gaming vibe. Yeah, we will be changing the font as well. Wait for that. But there is some catch. I also want to make this button little bit more modular. By more modular, I want to say is that like anybody could, if they want to, they can also update the styling of this button. So suppose if you want to update the styling of this button for any reason, right now in this component we cannot change the styling, right? We cannot actually change the styling of this button. It is what it is. So we can actually introduce more logic, more complicated or professional logic, just to make this thing more modular or compatible with more of the use cases. So in this button, I will also accept one more prop here, which is going to be style prop. Okay, you can actually give it any other name as well if you want to. So I'm just going to provide it a style prop. But notice one thing, this style is a prop, okay, for our component. For our component, this style is a prop. You could have given it any name, let's say S, ST, SCY, anything, right? It is a prop. It's not like it's not a actual styling thing. It's just a prop. You can also check it like this. Background color green. See, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening because this thing is just a prop for our component. But if you provide this style here, so this is not our component. Yeah, this is a simple HTML tag kind of thing. This is simple JSX, this BT button. Yeah, here if you write this style, this is actually a attribute or a thing which is going to change the styling. So if I provide here, let's say background color of green, it's actually going to update the styling, right? So I have seen like many times people get confused with these kind of stuff, that this style is actually a property for this button. But if you create your component, in that case, it's just a normal prop here. And you can also notice one thing, that when we create our component, we always start our component with a capital letter. So it is very important to start your component name with a capital letter. As you can see, here I also have this title thing with a capital T. Same goes here, capital M. So it's very important for you, like whenever you create a component, to start it with a capital letter. There's few reasons behind this. The very first reason is that obviously have some sort of difference between these elements and in our component. And also there's also something called class components and all, a lot of thing going on. So anyways, what I will be doing here, as the style attribute, I will be providing props.style here. So my button also have one more prop here, which is style, that user can provide and that prop I am just going to put it here. Now you can actually modify the styling if you want to. Okay, let me hide this thing. Okay, cool. Yeah. So if anybody also want to update the styling for any reason, they can do that. Like red. See? So in my button now you can also update the styling if you want to. Anyways, I won't suggest you to do that, but you can. Same in the same way, if I want to perform any action when user clicks on this, so how I'm going to do that? So if I provide here, let's say on click, and let me just create a function here, const handle start, right? And if I do, let's say alert start here, and if I provide this thing here, it's not going to work. Can you guess the reason why it's not working? I'm providing this on click here with this function, but it is not working. Like sorry, I guess it's already passed. Let me remove it from here. Not a lot, but okay. Can you just take a guess? Even if I'm providing this on click here, and I'm also providing a function, but it's not working. It's doing nothing when I click on this thing. So can you take a guess why it's not working? I can give you a hint. The hint is just in the previous thing that we have, like just like in the style. The reason is more, I would say. So why are you not destructuring the props? Yeah, I would. I will be. Then I also need to explain the destructuring part, right? We should use that. No, actually, the reason is here that this on-click thing is just a prop. It is not a event listener. This is just a prop. You can actually have any number of prop for your component, like anything like name or anything like that. So it's not actual on-click. Even if I'm giving it a name of on-click, it is just a normal prop here. So if I provide on-click here in this thing, so this is actually what is going to do some event listener stuff. So because in this button, so this is actually an element. If you want to set like a normal HTML element, anyways, it is a JSX element, right? So here we need to pass this thing props dot on click. So in my component, in my button, I am accepting three props: on click, style, and a text. And these three props, I am passing it to this button, right? So this, it's just like a function and all thing, right? So when you pass something to a function, you can use it or something like that. So yeah, we will be doing that. Use it. I was just asking, like, even if I have provided this function alert start, but nothing was happening. Now you can actually pass it and it will work. Now this button is properly functional button, then that we can actually use instead of the default button, because it can have styling. It also have on click thing, style thing. Also, if you want to, you can pass the class name, but that would have made things little messy and all. So this is what I was trying to explain. Cool. Okay. Now we can move to the next part, and which is, let me just put this thing back here, and let's bring this thing here. So I actually don't want to have this black, this weird color. This is what the styling I want to put. Now button is on the, like, in the right corner. So this is the style I'm passing to this button so that I can keep it here, because I just wanted to, like, it's looking good here. Anyways, I also want to add a custom font here. So if you notice here, I'm actually using custom font black one ops. So you can actually use any font you want. All you have to do is to type Google Fonts. In the Google Fonts, just go over. It's like using normal fonts, right? It's not that complicated. Just go over here, choose the font that you want. We want black ops one. So this is the font we will be using. So click on this font. Just go over here, click on this thing, like select this. You will get this link. Copy this link, and then you have to paste this link in the HTML file, this index.html. Okay, in this index.html, you have to put this here. And why here, I'm just going to explain that as well, but after this, like at the very end. Just copy the font thing, this link, and you have to paste it here. Remember this index.html file? I told you like it's an important file, but we don't touch it a lot. Anyways, it is very important, so don't delete this. So here we will be putting our links that we have copied. So now we are going to have our fonts as well. So let me configure this. And if I do this and let me open, see now the font is this, the start button font is now different. Okay, it's little different and it's looking little better now. Okay. The one thing I also want to have is a proper background color, a good background color. So for that, I will be creating a file, a new CSS file, index.css. You could have given it any name, but I would like to go with this name of index.css. So the base CSS, remember like this margin 0, padding 0 thing. So we can actually remove all the unnecessary margins and padding. We are making the box sizing to border box. It's CSS, it's not related to React. I want to have this background color. Now the background color is also changed. It changed, trust me. And yeah, so that's it. So this is the basic style I wanted to have. Like some, if I want, I can also change the font size and etc. So basic CSS, and I'm just going to import this CSS. Now obviously you want to connect this CSS, right? So I'm going to import this CSS in my this this JSX. So here I'm just going to import the CSS here, like import dot and sorry, one dot index.css and just give it a pixel. Cool. So now we have the styling applied. So I'm connecting this CSS file. I'm connecting this CSS file to my app.js, like the main file. If you want, you could have gone with any other name as well. So like I could have given it app.css. So let's just give it a name of app.css. I guess it makes more sense. Cool. So now we have our font, our background color as well. We have a button as well. And you can also click on this button and it will start working. So what I want to do, anytime user click on this button, I am just going to generate a random number. So it's going to be very simple, a random number. Okay. So this is a simple formula to generate a random number. So math.random is going to generate a random number between 0 to 1. So this function math.random, it's JavaScript, it's not related to React at all. So this math.random is going to generate a random number between 0 to 1. But we want a number between 0 to 10. So how we can get this? It's very simple. Just multiply that number with 10. Yeah, so like if the number random number you got is like 0.5, you can multiply it by 10 and you will get 5 here. So it's a number between 0 to 10. I don't know why they are adding 1 here. I'm really not good with my maths. I'm just trusting this editor, like this formula is going to work. So you can trust it as well. Or you can just Google some other formula to generate a random number. I'm going to go with this one only. So this is a random number here. And the next thing we will be doing, we will be updating this lucky number state. And for that, we have to call this function. We have to call this function set lucky number with this value. So we will be generating a random number. Then we will be putting a number here to update this lucky number state. And if you want to, you can also put it here, right? So I'm just going to create a simple h1 tag. And inside this, I'm going to write this lucky number so that we can see if this thing is working or not. So right now the lucky number is 0. So this thing, right now the lucky number is 0 here, as you can see here. Anytime I will click on this button, this function will execute where we are generating some number and then we are updating it. So see 5, 2, 10, 8, 4, 7, 10, 6. Okay, it's random. I guess obviously it's random, so we can trust this function. So voila, we now have a random number. Now the next thing we want to do is to have an input field where user can type something. So this is the second thing that we will be doing. Before that, let me read your chats. We should set hello, yeah, hello, rendering code. I guess you don't have any doubts and all because nobody is asking anything here. Okay, that sounds fun. So now let's move to the next part where we have to create an input field. So just if you want to, you can create a component input as well. But for now, just to keep things little simple, I'm just going to create it here. Later, you can actually create a different component input, something like that. So I'm putting it here input, and we got our input here, right? And you can actually type here, but it's looking very ugly. So the next thing that we will be doing is to make this thing little pretty, and for that we got some styling. Before that, let me just zoom in a bit. This input is going to be of type number. Give it a save. So now this is a number type. So you can only type numbers. You cannot type ABCD here. The second thing that we need to have is, I guess, nothing. So whatever the value user is going to type, we need to store that value somewhere, right? Otherwise, how you would compare two things? So if I enter, let's say 10, now obviously we want to check if this number is correct or not. So how we will be doing that? So for that, we need to store this number, whatever the user is entering, into some value. In our case, in some state. So for that, we will be creating another state with the name of user input. User input, something like that. User, I guess, user input. And initially, the value for the user input is going to be the 0. So this is the state which is going to store the user input. Now how? So this is our input. So in this input, which is type of number, we can actually provide a event listener on change. So by why on change, what I mean, so anytime any of the value in this input is going to change, it is going to call the function that you will be providing here. So let me provide a function here, const handle user input. Okay, I'm creating a function handle user input. If you want to do it like this, you can, or you can could have also passed the function directly here. Okay, so let's just pass it directly here. This time I'm just going to pass it directly here. So in the on change, you have to pass a function, and anytime there's a change, this function is going to get executed. I can also show it to you, something like this, console.log change. Let's give it a save, and I can open this thing, and let me also open the inspect element, and here so anytime there is a change, see in the console we are getting change. See the change, you whatever you type, you will get change here. So this is the event listener which is going to get called anytime there's a change in this input field, in the value of the input field, like whatever the user is entering there. So and also in this function we will get this e thing. So this e thing is automatically passed to this function. So this is what we call as callback thing. Again, it's JavaScript. It's not related to React. In this e, so it's actually the event. Okay. So in this e dot target, if you do this dot value, you will actually get the value which is inside this input field. Let me do a quick recap. In an input field, in an input element, you can provide this on change. In this on change, you will get this e, which is an event that is getting caused. And in the e, this e dot target dot value is going to give you the value. Okay, whatever the value user is typing. So I can also show it to you. See, whatever I'm typing, I'm getting here. Okay, so now what we want is to update the user input state with the value that we are getting here. So instead of logging this thing, we will be updating set user input to e dot target dot value. Okay, I guess I have to give a recap of everything. So what I'm trying to say, we are going to have a state here to store the user input, so that we can compare the lucky number as well as the user input. Cool. And to get the user input, we will be creating this input element. In this input element, you can provide this event listener on change. This on change is going to call this function, whatever the function we are going to provide here, anytime there is some sort of change in the input field. And inside this function, we will get this e. It's vanilla JavaScript. It's simple JavaScript. It's not related to React from here. So in this e.target.value, we will actually have the value which was pressed by the user, and then we are saving this to our state by doing this set user input. What is the set in user input? It is this function which we can call anytime with a value to update this state here. Cool. So I can also show it to you. So this is our lucky number. And in the second, we are, let me also write this user input. Okay. So now this is the user input and this is the lucky number. And we can see both are 0. If I click on this start, we are generating some lucky number. And anytime you type on this input field, see this state is getting updated. This state is getting updated. Whatever I'm typing here, I'm getting in this state. Why I'm getting this? Because I'm updating the state anytime there's a change. Okay, I'm updating the state, and if there is anytime there's a change in the input field and all the basic stuff. I hope you got this. If you want a recap, you can just ask me in the chat. I'm here. Useref is not for the advanced. It's the use case of useref is not here. Like we are obviously going to learn a lot more React once we get a positive feedback here, and we just have 50 people watching. I wanted to have more, so I guess you will see that. Okay, yeah, moving on. Where were we? Okay, so now we have done a lot of stuff. We have created this. Now the final thing I want to create is a button which is going to check if the lucky number is same or not. So I'm just going to create another button here. So for that, as being a very lazy person, I'm just going to copy paste this button with a different text, check. Okay, and obviously with some different styling as well. Cool. And let me just put it here as B. So now we have this check button here. See, this is our check button. And I have removed those two things. Like I'm not having this h1 tag. So I have removed that. And I'm going to create another function, handle check. So this handle check is just going to check if this user input is same with the lucky number or not. And just as a cheating thing, I'm just going to log out the lucky number. Cool. So this is a handle check function. Inside this, I have just written simple JavaScript here. If user input, if this state is equals to this state, just show a message you win or just show a message you lose. Yeah. I'm going to go with this double check only for this time. And I'm going to pass this function to our check button, handle check. Okay. Here handle start, here handle check. And now we can actually check it. So for that, I'm just going to do some little cheating here. Let's give it a refresh. First, we need to start it. So the lucky number is 3. I'm going to write, let's say 5. I'm going to click on this check. Do we have, oh, sorry. I guess I forgot to save it. Sorry. Okay, handle check. Okay, cool. Now we have to start it over again. So cool. So start number is 4. I'm just going to type here 1, check, and I'm getting you lose, obviously, because lucky number is 4. So I will be writing here 4 and click on check, and we got you win. So the basic premise of our game is kind of ready. Now we have to do some fun stuff with this. So you can also have your mind recap, okay, for the full course. Oh my god. So yeah, incredible for you. I'm going to give you a recap. Just let this style on. I'm just going to give you a complete overall recap because we have created our basic premises of our game, so we can actually have a recap here. And Aditya is like having like a boom of chat here. In case of input, you should always prefer using ref. Yeah, Aditya, I know that, but in that case, we also need to explain use ref, right? When actually I want to keep the concern you are raising is anytime there's some change in the state, there will be some UI render on, right? So if I don't provide it like this, I will get an error which is going to say that this input is not controlled. So that is uncontrolled component, control and uncontrolled component. There are a lot of stuff. So that is why I'm just keeping it very simple. And don't worry about the renders because React automatically handles the duplicate UI part. So it's not going to be that of concern. Everybody else can ignore. For the full course, beginner guide for the full course, I will be just pitching you the full course at the very end, right? Okay. Anyways, we have created a basic premises of our game. Now we have to make this game little bit more beautiful because it's looking very ugly. So for that, first thing I want to do is to just style this input somehow. It's looking so bad right now. So to style the input, I will be just what do you say? Let's just create an input. Do you want to create this input component, or you just want to style it here? Do let me know in the chat. Do you want to create a separate component for the input, or you just want to style it here? Till then, I'm just going to style it here because I'm just going to copy and paste it. And in the app.css, I'm just going to create this to people type, because once we create it here, we can actually have a different user guess input styling here, copy, and I can paste it here. Okay, so now we have styled our input. You can see the styling, it's very simple. Height of 100%, width of 100%, font width of 80 pixel, etc, etc. Some border bottoms, it just have the border bottom. And if you can see, like we are getting a very huge button. So for that, I will be creating a division here. In this division, I'm just going to give it a class name of wrapper, class name of a WRAPPER. In this wrapper, I'm going to put this thing, and I will be creating a class wrapper thing, and I will be styling it. So wrapper is going to be somewhat, let's say, height of 300 pixels and width of 400 pixels, somewhat like this. Okay, so now it's little small now, and you can type here. And if you want to get rid of these buttons, if you can actually copy paste my styling. So this is what I use to get rid of these arrows. So I'm just removing these arrows that we get whenever we create anything with the type of input. We get these arrows. I don't personally like them, so I'm just going to remove it. Okay, cool. So I guess you people have added it in the chat like what you want. Full course recap, which is a separate component. Okay, let's create a separate component. That is why I was not styling that thing. Okay, so I'm going to create a what should we name it? Let's just name it input. Okay, input, or let's say what should we name it? I usually I go with a simple input name. Let's create an input. Remember, we just need to make the uh, first letter as capital letter, and I'm going to return input thing here, and let's have some props. Okay, props, and we will be having one prop to specify the type. Okay, then we will be having a prop to specify the placeholder, props dot placeholder, and then we will be having a prop to set up on change. Okay, so props dot on change, and we will be also having value thing now, props dot value. So these are the props that our component is going to expect, what will I say, is going to take. So anyways, this props dot type, props dot placeholder, it's like getting a little out of hand. So what we can do, this is the object, right? So in this object, we can do the object destructuring. So let me give you a quick recap or something like this. So if we have an object with let's say name John and age 30. So this is JavaScript, it's not related to React. So if you have an object like this, and if you want to create a variable with the name of this, okay. So if you want to create a variable with the name of name, with the name of age, and the value should be equals to object dot name, and the value should be equals to age, object dot age. So it is going to be like John, and this is going to be like 30, right? So instead of doing it like this, there is a shortcut way to do that, and that is to do something like this. Const, just type name and age, and make it equals to the object. Yeah. So look closely. So this is actually same as doing this, but in a shorter form. Just write const curly brackets name of your variables, but keep in mind the name of variable should be equals to the property name of the object. Okay, it should be equal to the property name of your object. So if you do this, you can actually use the short form. So this is the exactly same thing that I will be doing in here. Otherwise, we have to do props a lot of time. So props is an object. Props is an object, isn't it? Now I want to create few variables const, which is going to be equal to type, placeholder, on change, and the value. Okay, so I'm actually creating this. So it is same as doing this. Const type equals to props.type. Const placeholder equals to this, on change equals to this, and this. So this is the short form and this is the long form. Now we can actually use this directly. Okay, now we don't have to basically type props dot this, props of that, and etc etc. You can actually write them directly, and we are just going to make them in a single line. So now we have a component, input component. The next thing we will be doing is to give it some styling. For that, I will be creating input dot css, and let's just copy and paste the same styling that we did it for our main component here. So this is our styling. Copy. I will be creating a class with a, let's say, input. So this is our class. Let me paste the class here. And now the next thing that we need to do is to connect these two files. So import dot input dot css, and I will be giving it a class name of input. Okay, you could have given it any class name. The final step is to export this thing, export default input. Now we can use this thing on a base of our use case. I will be also accepting one more prop style here. So if somebody wants to change the style, they can. So we want to give them a little bit of freedom with our input thing. And now we can close all this. We don't need this. We actually don't need this as well, and we don't need this and this and this as well. So we can actually, instead of this, we can use our component, our button and all everything. So before that, I just want to style this thing, our main class here. So I will be giving this thing a class name of, I will be pasting the classes, right? Just to save some time. We are already wrapper. Okay, so I will be giving it a class name of WRAWP wrapper, and let's give it this these properties. So where is the wrapper thing? Yeah. So wrapper is going to be height of 70 bh, like this. Okay. Then I will create another thing here, the game box. Inside this, I will be creating another division with the class name of game box. I'm just trying to make this give it some styling and all. And game box is going to be another style here. So let's paste it here. Okay. And inside this, we will be having our input and all buttons and all. So let me import the input. Cool. And now inside this, we can use our input component. So let me just paste this. Okay. So we can use our input component now, and we can provide the same arguments, right? So let's have the type of number, placeholder. Let's have on change, the same function on change value. And if we want to have some style, but for now we don't want to give it some style, and give it a save. And here only we will have our button, right? So my button, this. Okay, so now we finally got this thing. Here we have this check button, and this is our input field. Whew, finally. So we built something. So it's looking a little better now. I can zoom it up a little bit. Okay, enter your. I guess we should need to make this thing a little wider. So because it's just saying enter your what? Enter your what? Width, let's say, let me make it 900. Enter your number. Now it looks a little dramatic. Cool. Okay, finally we have got something. Now before moving to the last part, I will be telling you how you can use the images and the conditional rendering. So these are the two things that we want to show. So the first thing is, right now the game is not started yet. Okay, the game is not started yet. So why we are getting this check button? This check button is always going to give you win, because the game is not started yet. So I want to track somehow that if the game is not started, I don't want to show this check button. Okay, so this is called as conditional rendering. So that in a very simple terms, you want to show or hide a piece of UI or something in your UI, depending on some condition, just like if else statement. So there are two, three different ways to do that. We will be learning about two. So to check if the game is started or not, again I will be creating one more state here. Uh, what is correct guessed? Okay, so I will be started. Okay, started. The game is going to be the started. So start is going to be our another state, and false is going to be our default value. So by default, game is not started. So this is the initial value I'm going to give it. So what I will be doing here in this input, in let's just hide this whole thing, right? Let's just hide this whole game box unless we have started our game. So you just need to wrap it inside the curly brackets. Let me zoom it a little bit. And here, what you can write, if started, okay, st. Do you know about the inline conditions? So if you, let's say, if we have a variable, let's say const a equals to 20, okay, and you can check if a is greater than 18, then we can do something, or else we do something else. Okay, so this there's one more way to write this, which is you can write a if greater than 18 question mark, then you can have something question mark. Okay, so this is the condition. This is some kind of if this is true, do this, otherwise do this. Okay, you can actually write this in a single line. So this is what we will be doing. So this is what we will be doing. This is the condition. If the condition is true, if the condition is true, do this. If the condition is false, do this. Okay, the second part after the colon here. The colon is very important. And you can write your condition here. So this is what we will be doing. So if started, started is true. Okay. And sorry, if started is false, I guess. If started is false, do this. By false, I mean I'm going to, let me just make it by default true now. Not started. Let's create a not started. Not started, set not started. The variable name is now not started. Yeah, no started. So if no started is true, by default, no started is true, right? The game is not started yet. So no started is true. So if no started is true, in that case, show something like h1 press on start button. Okay, button. If no start is true, press on this button. Else show this. Else show this. So I'm writing here, if not started is true, if there is true here, which is true right now, because it is true, just show this thing, press on start button. Anyways, we also had that title now. So why don't we use that title component? Okay, so we will be using our title component here, title. So if not started is true, then show this, otherwise show this. Cool. And when user is going to click on the start button, that is this button. So we won't just update the lucky number. We will also set the set not started to false. So we will be switching the value of this not started value from true to false. So now it can actually toggle, right? And this is going to work. See, right now we are not getting anything because the value of not started is true. Value of not started is true. So that is why we are not getting anything, because this is the condition that we have specified here, that if the not started is true, then show this. Okay. And if I click on this, I guess I forgot to do something. I forgot to save it. Sorry. Okay, cool. So right now we are not getting anything. Once I click, see, now we are getting the game here. Now we are getting the game, right? So this is conditional rendering. And depending on some condition, you can show and hide something. There's one more way to do that, and that is what we will be doing. And that is in this button also. In this button also, we can have two buttons. If not started is true, in that case, show the start button, show the start button, or or show another button. So I'm creating another button here with the name of stop. And in the stop, let's pass a function which is going to set the this thing not started to true back. It's completely optional. If you want, you can have it. So stop and start button. Again, it's going to be your assignment. I'm also switching this button. Okay, so this is, I'm just repeating the same thing. I'm going to remove this for now. You can later do this by yourself, but let me show you another way to do that. So what you can do, if not started is true, if not started is true, and end. So this is end. So it's short form of doing that. So if this is true, in that case, do the second part. It's not related to React, by the way. So if I do this, right, console.log of something, or let's say when you have some sort of conditions. So what it does now, so let's say const is, we are creating a variable which is going to be, let's say, true and false. So what is the value we will be getting here? False here. So, but what happens? It do the short checking. It's like it's coming from C or C++. Anyways, the reason is here. If you already have a false in the first statement, it won't even bother to move ahead. So even if there is true or some false, some value, it's not going to move ahead because it clearly sees that in the starting only we got the false. So no matter what is the next condition, the overall statement is going to be false. It's computer science thing. So you can ignore it, but it is a second way of doing that. But in this way, you can provide the else condition. You can't do that. So there's also one way. So if this is true, do this, and if it is false, it won't even bother to move ahead, so it's not going to get executed. So if I show it to you, so right now, let me, I guess I forgot to save it. Let me save this thing. Now it's got saved. Okay, so now it's start. Once I click here, the start button is gone. So if you want, you can add this as well. Okay, but I don't want to have it. Actually, you should provide that start stop button thing, but for now I will be doing that, this thing. Okay, so this is the condition rendering. There is one more way to do that, so that I will be covering later. But for the most of the time, I also use this question mark thing. It's easy to understand. It's something like if and else, but my job is to show you all the possibilities. So that is why I am having it here. Okay, so I will be creating one more variable here with the name of is correct. Okay, is correct, which is going to store the value if the answer is correct or not. Depending on that, we will be showing and hiding some pictures to motivate or demotivate the user. So I already have few pictures with me. So let me just copy these pictures from here. So this is the first picture. I'm pasting it inside this asset folder. If you want, you can actually have them elsewhere as well. So these are the two pictures I want to have. How do we use pictures in React? First, like again, there is so many ways to do that, but I will be showing you the easiest and the best way. So first, you need to import the picture. So you can have any name here. Let's say the name is dog. Okay, laughing dog. So let me copy it. Laughing dog from. And you have to specify the path of picture. So in the asset folder, I have this. Just specify the file name with the path. And you have to import it like this. Okay, this is the best and the simplest way. Now you can just create an image tag, normal image tag, and here you can pass the source as src, and in the src you just need to pass the variable name by which you have imported that image. So there's one more way, that is you can directly pass the path here. So you could have directly passed the path here as well, but this won't work with the GIF, GIFs. So it won't work with the GIFs, and obviously it's not. I don't prefer this. I prefer to import your images at the very top with any variable name, and then you can just pass the variable name instead of passing the whole thing. And the next thing that we need to pass in our image is obviously the height and width. So this is the height and the width. I will be passing. Again, if you want, you can create another component, image component, but I guess that would be a lot of work. Okay. So if I go over here, see, we are getting this laughing image. I just need to style this as well. So I'm just going to style this so that it's going to be like at the bottom of our screen. So CSS, and let me just put it here. Okay, so now the logo is like at the bottom. I just want to move that logo a little bit more niche. So 50, let's just go with 100. I guess 100 is, and let's say we'll go with 150. Okay, 150 is fine. Why don't we I just change the height of this to 100? No, like let's say 150. Okay, just live with this for now. 80. Okay. I need to style this in a much better way. I guess you people can do that later. Let's say add to 300 and width to 600, and now I can move it upside to, let's say, 60. Okay, cool, much better. Okay, now we have this logo thing here, but we don't want to show this logo all time. We want to show it like when you do something wrong. And right now we have just started the game. So what you can do, when you check if the answer is correct or not, like this handle check, we are going to update this set correct thing, right? So instead of showing alert, we'll be doing that. Huh? So if the answer is correct, we will be showing it is correct to true. Otherwise, we will be showing it to false. Now the next part is very simple, which is if the game is not started. If the game is not started, in that case, just don't show it. Right? In that case, just don't show it. I don't want to show it like. And for nothing, I'm just going to provide null here. Null, or you can have some blank div or something like that. Cool. So if the game is not started, in that case, show nothing. Oh, sorry. Like this, or in other case, just show something. Or we can have, if the correct is false, is correct, right? Is correct. If is correct is true, in that case, show something else. And if is correct is false, so show something else. So I also have a success image here. So let me just use that image as well. Success image. So if it is correct, it's true. In that case, we will show the success image. Otherwise, we will show the losing image. So let me just write this success image. Okay, success. So if is correct is true, in that case, show the success image, or otherwise show this. That's simple as that. Okay, it cannot get even easier. We are just showing and hiding depending on the what is the answer or not. So let me just see what is the answer. Let's try it, right? So lucky answer is 5. If I enter, let's say 5 here, we are getting different image. If we enter something else, we are getting this. Okay. So 5, we are getting this. If something else, we are getting this. Okay, it's the wrong answer. You can also show some messages at the very top, or you can just give hints and all. So I guess this is done now. I should check your messages as well. Ternary operator, yeah. So this is ternary operator. It's much more easy. Okay, so if you want to join the full stack program, yeah, you will be getting the discount courses for today. Okay, so let me tell you about this thing. So you actually need to mark your attendance today to get your certificate for these 3 days. So go over here and just click in this link description attendance. This is actually our one link. Here you will be landed to this page. You can just click here on the mark attendance. You can rate me on the scale of 0 to 10. I'm just going to mark myself as 10. And if you are interested in our premium programs, which are job guaranteed and all also cool stuff, you can just click on this, and if you have any improvement suggestion, you can just suggest here, and you can mark your attendance. And you can click here on the programs. Here you will see our premium full stack program. The very first one is the web development program. The next one is the data science program. So if you're interested, you can just click on the enroll now button, and I guess you will be getting the link here as well. Okay, and anyways, this is what all about. In our programs, we guarantee you the placement. You will have one-to-one mentoring session every day. For 90 minutes, you will be having your personal class. You will be building more than 15 projects. We will be guiding you in your placement journey as well, and we do have a great team of great partners that who can hire you actually, right? So you can also join our course. This is our university promotion. Companies hiring are Google, Uber, Amazon, Flipkart, Ajio. Like you can see the list here, right? Okay, so I guess there's one more thing to do. We are going to have a simple quiz here, so we will be doing that. Let me just and And if you get the top score in the quiz, in that case, you will be getting a discount or some prizes for our Java DSA program. Okay, it's not about our that program in the Java DSA program. Okay, so let me start the quiz thing. Just give me 1 second. Open I'm not get.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, so am I audible and visible now clearly?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So hello guys, hello everyone. So this is me, Anam from LetsUpgrade, and I have joined this session called. So we will start with quiz. I will share my screen and wait. Yeah. So guys, just take your second device also in your hand. So you will be needing two devices from one which you will answer see the questions on YouTube, and from the second one you will be answering the question. You will just see the color boxes on your second device from where you have to select the correct box. And this is the game pin, and you can or else you can scan this QR code. I will put the game pin in the chat box also. Yeah. So guys, go to kahoot.it. There you have to put up this pin, the game pin, and please join with your real name or the username that you use before your Gmail ID. Do not enter with any fake name or any fake account, please, guys. And so you will be getting only 20 seconds to answer each question. No, and the screen might be delayed for 5 to 10 seconds. So do not complain in the chat box again and again. Do not spam the comment box. So guys, be fast, join the quiz, and the winners will be getting Java DSA coupon from our side, from LetsUpgrade. The first three winner will be getting it. The first one will get free Java DSA. The second one will get 3,000 off, and the third one will get 500 off. So make sure that you are winning this game and grabbing the coupon reward. We'll start the game at 7:31. So join fast and let me know in the chat box if you're done joining the game. Guys, again I'm telling that you will be needing two devices, for this one. From one device you will be seeing the question, and from the second one you will be answering it. So send link. Okay. I've sent the link also in the chat box. So, guys, the pin is 473618, or else scan this QR code. I have sent the link. Okay, so guys, we'll start. There are only 5 questions for now. So, all the best, guys. Answer with minimum seconds so that you will be the winner. The first one is, what is the correct way to pass data from a parent component to a child component in React? There are four options. This state property, prop system, parents internal method, directly accessing the child state. You have four. Yes, we have started the game quiz. The time is up for this. We'll move to the second one and we'll see the podium at last. So this is the second one. Which hook in React is used to add statue features to functional components? Use store, use state, use lifecycle, use component. There are four options and you have 10 seconds. 6 seconds left, guys. Features to functional components. Time is up. We'll move to next. And this is the third one. Which of the following is used to write inline styling in React component? This is the third one. CSS files, inline style component, style attributes, React style module. There are four options. Again, do not prompt the answer in chat box, guys. Please, it's of no use. Fourth one. So we'll move to fourth one. Which of the following does not define a component? Does not define a component. Small part of UI function that retains a JSX, CSS block, and null. Four options you have with 9 seconds left. Guys, please do not answer, prompt in the comment box. Let others also use their brain. This is the last one now. This is the fifth and last. Which of the following is not a way in style to style in React? Not a way to style in React. Inline styling, CSS, SCSS, or none. You have again four options. Yes, it is delay with 5 to 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The time is up. And we'll see the podium now. The top three winners will be getting the coupon. If the winners are repetitive, then we'll give a chance to another one. So don't worry. Gautam and who is this? Three. Please share your mail ID in the chat box, please, guys. And congratulations to you all. I will mail you the coupon code by tomorrow, end of the day. So guys, please share me your mail ID. Do not write @gmail.com. Just write your username that you use before your Gmail ID. So guys, send it fast in the chat box. Guys, I'm waiting. Send your mail ID so that we'll wind up. Yeah, Gautam received yours. Manendra and Charan, please send your also. Are you people there? Hello. Manendra, Charan. Okay, so guys, if you will not send, I will move on to other winners or we'll wind up the game. Okay. Acha, Manendra received yours also. Charan, I'm waiting for now. Charan, please send your also. The certificate will be available within 5 minutes. But two people are sending Manendra email ID. Now who is the real one? Guys, we'll be getting the certificate in 5 minutes, so don't worry. Okay, so we'll wind up for today. Guys, certificate is available now. You can go to the one link and get your certificate from there. You can download your certificate from a one link beside the progress bar. So bye guys, bye for today. We'll meet on Monday again with fast and bootcamp. So bye guys, bye everyone.